all right, man, I wish I could call you and talk to you on very different circumstances, but Tyler Warner, NCAA champ. Okay. So first things first, you started at Wheeling Jesuit. That's where you won the national title last year. Tell me that story real quick, Wheeling Jesuit, and what happened last year.
So we were national runner-ups as a team, and we woke up Sunday in the hotel, and we all had an email from the president, and pretty much that once, on Monday, he wanted everyone to meet with him. So we got back to campus, and it was kind of like no one even, really was, knew that we even won got second as a team.
And you were national champion. You were champion, and Craig was champion as well.
Yep. And so we get over. We have a meeting with the president, and he kind of pretty much just said that our program, not just our program, but all sports and stuff, could be taken away. They could drop it. Pretty much financial problems, and so it kind of cut our wrestling program and a few other sports. But to me, it felt like it was just just wrestling. Like it was, they still had sports, and but not wrestling. They pretty much just got rid of us, and all of us had to get in the portal, and this happened in 48 hours. Like it was just over, taken away from us.
So you had a free and fair transfer, and you went to UPJ. You went to Pitt Johnstown. How far are those apart? An hour and a half?
It's about 2 hours.
It's 2 hours apart? Okay. So Wheeling Jesuit was a newer program anyway. It was like 10 years old maybe. Okay, and Irwin, it was his first year as a head coach, right?
Yep.
It's a wild thing, right? And then, so you transfer over to UPJ, right? And one of the all-time great coaches, okay? And you're in this situation where you're there and you get hurt early in the season, right? What was it, shoulder?
No, it was my LCL.
LCL?
Yep.
Okay. So you get hurt earlier in the season, and the season looks like it's going to be over for you, right?
Yep.
All of a sudden, you pull a rabbit out of a hat, and I see you back in the lineup. You're winning matches again. And in your regional, how'd you do in your regional?
I got second at regionals. It was a match that it was not Tyler Warner wrestling. Not taking anything away from that kid. The kid's a good wrestler. I come back. I wasn't gonna go back to UPJ. I got put back in the portal. I was gonna transfer somewhere else. But then I decided I was gonna go back, and I just wanted to get back on the mat, and I went back, and I think I had 2 weeks of practice, maybe a little less. Wrestled a duel against Gannon, won that match, and went to regionals. And in college, everybody, you wrestle everybody you're gonna meet. National tournament, regional tournament, and I had no clue who these kids were. So it's kind of just like feeling them out instead of just opening up and wrestling. So in that match, I pinned my way through. I had a close match in the semis. Then made it to the finals, and I had a single leg. I escaped, and I had a single leg, and I had an illegal trip. So he got a point for that, which tied it up. And then I was riding him out the whole third period, 34 seconds left, and I think the match honestly got restarted. I think they restarted the match, stalemated it 4 times in the third period.
So you lose a tough match. You didn't even have double-digit matches this year?
No.
What was your record? 7-1, 6-1?
No, I think it was. I might have hit double. I think it was 8-2.
8-2. So, okay, you got to 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's this crazy time for you, and you were an All-American as a freshman, right? You took 7th at 41, and the weight you're not a 41-pounder.
No.
And the reason you did that was so your brother could wrestle 33, right? And your brother's an Ohio State champ at Claymont. You're a 3-time state champ at Claymont.
Yeah.
So you look at it now, it's this whole crazy thing, right? Like last year you get crazy news. This year, you guys were out there. You flew out to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, right?
Yeah. Yep. We were practicing on the mats actually, and Well, I guess I shouldn't say we were practicing, but they were, open mats, like you just go, teams are going, practicing. We were actually in a team meeting, and, Coach Pecora was just, he's being positive, saying this, like, what could happen. And we just finished our meeting. We got our tickets for our family, and he gets a phone call, and, they just pretty much said, hey, tournament's done. And the kids that were over there practicing, they just said they walked on the mounds like, hey, clear the mats, tournament's canceled, and they just started rolling up the mats.
Clear the mats, tournament's canceled.
Yep.
And you guys, okay, so D2 it's a 2-day competition. It's a Friday, Saturday.
Yep.
Whereas D1's Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
And I believe D3 is Thursday, Friday, Saturday as well, right?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure D3 is, because they were like, when they got canceled, I think they were like hours away from the first whistle, is what I recall, right? It's wild. Well, I know you don't know that, but I'm pretty sure D3, I'd have to look at it. I think they're a 3-day. I know you guys are a 2-day. But D2 is obviously growing pretty rapidly, right? So you're at this point. Here's the thing for you, though, and here's what I got to say for you. You have an NCAA title. You know what I mean? Colin Moore doesn't have an NCAA title.
Yeah. My heart breaks for these guys.
Yeah, man. But you think about it, like, you have a title. This year was almost going to not be a year for you anyway. You barely hit double-digit matches. I'm not saying my heart's not broken for you, man, but you got a title. You know what I mean? Like, you get what I'm saying, the difference there, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep.
How do you feel, moving forward in this? You have one more year, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So you got one more year. What do you do and how do you move forward? And what do people say to you? What does Coach Pecora say to you? What are you guys talking about? What's going on here? You're going back to UPJ. What is your situation, Tyler?
Just staying positive. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. And, this sucks for all of us, not just me, for every athlete that's going through this. But I'm thankful because, I do have one more year, and Colin Moore and, Luke Fletcher and, a lot of those guys, they're done. They don't get that chance. But Coach Pecora, we remember they had us coming out winning as a team, and I believe that he was going to hang it up after this. And
Oh, wow.
yeah. So,
wow.
I think I know it's tough for him, because he's like, man, we had a really good team. Dual team, we were solid, but tournament, I think that's where I think that's where it was going to get a little dirty. So, but no, you just stay positive and just go with the flow, and whatever happens, and just continue to be a good team, and come together and just be there for each other, and just be ready to get after it for next year, and just, do what we were going to do this year. So, yeah, but it does suck. It sucks for those guys that don't get this chance back. And hopefully they give them this chance, but it's going to be tough. I don't think it's going to happen. So.
Yeah, that year back, that's the big thing I've talked to everybody about. You bring it up. They're talking about, granting an extra year for people and it was 95% of the season for all of you. All 3 divisions had wrestled 95% of the season. I get you're a week, earlier than D1, right? And D3 and you're the same weekend, but it's 95% of the season. It's already been wrestled. They're giving the spring athletes another year. You do know that, right? That's the big talk, right?
Yep.
Where do you go from here? What do you do? I mean, everybody talks. First off, I love D2 wrestling. I love the setup of your championships. I love the parity is what I really love about D2. You got these guys from Tiffin. Because Oak Harbor's over by Tiffin, so I get a lot of Tiffin information. They got these guys who pin guys. They got like the 1 and the 3 guy in the country for pins.
Yep.
The guys they're crazy. These guys are crazy pinners, You go to the tournament, and it doesn't matter if you're 34-0 and the number 1 seed. A guy that is unseeded can knock you off. The D1 tournament's not really like that.
Yep.
That's what I love about there's so much parity in the D2 tournament. Do you see yourself at UPJ next year? Do you try and dip your toe in the water in D1? What do you do at this point?
I've always talked to you about this. I've always wanted to go Division One. And when I was put back in the portal, during Christmas break, it was kind of, I had a lot of schools, offer me, but I want to go to a Division One school that, it's gonna make me, it's gonna help me become a national champ. I don't want to go to a school and just say, hey, I want Division One. I wrestle, Division One. I want to go to a school that's going to help me reach my goals. And I am thinking, I'm thinking about it, and I do want to do that, and hopefully that I get put back in the portal, doors open, and a school brings me in and trusts me and believes in me, and I think we can make some noise in Division One. So.
Another guy from UPJ who did that was Strip Matter. He was national champ there, and then he went and he was in the national finals for Iowa. A monster at 125. If you see the guy now, he was that big. Imagine him cutting down to 125 that big, right? So he's a massive 25. You in Division One, are you a 25 or 33? What do you think? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's obviously part of this when you talk about this, Tyler?
I think I'm a 33. 25 would be tough. But again, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I think I'm definitely going to go with 33. I feel good at 33. And doing it myself, making weight myself. 33, it's a little tough, but I get there and, I feel good. But getting help from, Division One, they're on food plans and stuff like that. So, I don't know. Maybe, I had that. Maybe I would be a 25, but definitely think of 33 right now.
You beat Alvarez earlier this year from Rutgers, right?
Yeah, yep.
Have you seen his match with Seth Gross at Big Tens?
I did not.
That's how I know you're that caliber.
Yeah.
I also know that because you're a 3-time Ohio State champion. Okay, so let's go back to that. I got an ultimate question for you. You're going for your 4th state title, right? And you lose in the semis, and then you come back and take 3rd, right?
Yep.
As a senior. Would you rather lay it all on the line and take 3rd again, or have the state tournament canceled?
No, I'd take 3rd. I'd take 3rd. I didn't lose. I learned in that match. Winning and losing, it's part of life. Wrestling is it's part of life. It's something that we do for fun. Losing that match, it hurt. That sucks. I was the first to do it in the state of Ohio, and probably the first to do it in the United States. I don't know, but no, when I lost that match, I just told myself, I'm going to come back and get 3rd because that's what a true champion does. Not to talk about anybody or, say any names, but there's a few that done the same. And, they just said, I'm done, proved themselves in the tournament. I couldn't live with that. I wanted to walk off the match, the state tournament, with a win, and I did that. So, no, I don't think I would ever want that tournament to be canceled. I'd take 3rd every day of the week.
What do you think of those kids now? I have a nephew who's a district champion. He's ranked top 2 in the state, and he's taken some butt whippings this year from the best guys in Division I and Division II, and he's a D3 guy. And he's not going to get to wrestle in the state tournament, it doesn't look like. And I think he had a lot of momentum building. You know what I mean? Like, he was just really just crushing people. Losing to the number 2 guy in 2 overtime matches from Bellevue, a guy who's going to Cornell. You know what I mean? Like, he's got all this momentum build up, and he's going to lose it, and he's a junior. He never even made it out of the sectional tournament before. Crushed everybody at the sectional, crushed everybody at the district. And then, that guy's got a ton of momentum build up. He's a no-carber guy, and they wrestle a solid style, but he's probably not going to get that year. Patty Gallagher's not going to get that year to, beat one of the best guys in the country, another Cornell guy, Najee Lockett. Like, we're not going to get to see those matchups. How do you think you would have dealt with that? Because they're not going to get their tournament either. I mean, they're talking like they're they're just not gonna. I mean, we're talking about an eminent health risk here for a large, a even if it's a percent of the United States population, that's still 3 million people, right? It's a lot of people to die. You know what I mean? To put that many people at risk to have a tournament, I don't think that that's very prudent and sound. But I know we don't like this. I know you and I are like, we'll take the risk of getting the virus, right? Like I know a lot, and Terrell Delagnev said that. He goes, if you ask the 300 athletes in D1, 330 athletes in D1, 300 of them are going to go wrestle in that tournament.
Oh, absolutely.
But you do get the eminent health risk, right? Like you get that much, right?
Yep.
I don't know if a lot of people are getting that right now.
No, I don't think they are either. But it's something that if we would have wrestled and one of us would have got really sick, then that's coming back on NCAA and the people running the tournaments. And not only that, you get you catch that virus, you go home and your grandma or your grandpa, you hang out with them, you're just giving it to them, and
yeah,
that's we can't be having that.
Yeah.
And I know this sucks, but again, like I said, everything happens for a reason, and I believe that greater things are going to come to all of us, that are going through this, not just college and high school. Like those kids that are their dreams, they're crushed. They're never getting it back, like you said. But I think they need to just be positive and know that just greater things are coming for them. And one day they're gonna forget about this. They're gonna forget about it. They're gonna laugh about it and say, coronavirus beat me, 2020. Because we're gonna be seeing those guys winning national titles, and they're gonna forget about that. And again, I'm not feeling how they feel, because it didn't happen to me in high school. But I know that something happened to me in high school that just tore me apart. But I know, like, after I won a Division II national title, all the weight off my shoulders was just gone. So it was like, man, this is awesome. Like, winning that again, I never even think about high school wrestling.
Made you a better person.
Back on and I laugh.
Made you a better person.
Yeah, and absolutely. Yep.
Are you sick of being slighted in Division II wrestling? It's like the Menard kid from Ashland writes me a message yesterday. Really nice kid, Chandler. And he's like, I'm a D2 perspective if you care. And I'm like, well, absolutely I care. And I think that's a lot of thing that you guys know about me is I care. No matter what division you are, whether you're a Division 1, 2, 3, NAIA, JUCO guy, I care. Is the slight of being D2 and there's so much attention on D1, does that get to you at all?
No. This is how I look at Division 2 and Division 1, Division 3, Junior, NAIA. This wrestling is wrestling. I have to say, I think I had like 12 losses in college, and I don't think a single loss. And I've wrestled a lot of Division 1 wrestlers in college, a lot, and I've wrestled good Division 1 wrestlers in college. And I've yet to be beat by a Division 1 college wrestler. I've been beat by all Division 2 wrestlers, and I don't know if I've been beat by Division 3, but that just shows you, the talent that's in Division 2 and Division 3. I always say you have 10 absolute studs in Division 1, and you have 5 in Division 2, and you have 5 in Division 3. But I know for a fact if you take those 5 studs in Division 2 and Division 3 from Division 1, we're just as good as those guys, if not better. So I do it makes me a little angry how they look down a little bit. Not you, but there's like I'm not gonna get going there, but
there's a good bit of them who don't respect you guys, for sure.
Yeah, and it's wrestling. It's I think we deserve the respect that Division 1 wrestlers do, and they want the sport to build, and they want all that, and it's like, well, it's all about Division 1. Why not Division 2? And I'm not talking, I'm not being big headed or anything. I use that for an example. It's just I know I'm just as good as any Division 1 wrestler. I haven't been beat by a Division 1 wrestler, so it's all Division 2. And I always say, the problem with Division 1 wrestling, and you're a Division 1 wrestler. You have that, you have that Ohio State singlet. You have that Penn State singlet on. You have all those Big Ten singlets. Just any Division I school. These kids, you can't go above Division I. You can't put a different singlet on that's above D1. These guys in D2, our goal is to be Division I. You have freshmen that are wrestling Division II, but want to be Division I. So they're scrapping. They want to scrap. They want to. We get after it. And Division I guys, I think when it comes in play, when they're like, oh, I'm Division I. Look at this kid. He's got a Wheeling Jesuit singlet on. Look at me. I'm wearing Ohio State singlet. That drive in D2, it's dangerous. They want to be that Division I asset. So yeah, I mean that's how I look at that.
I got two names. You ready?
Yep.
Usman, Garbrandt. Where'd they wrestle in college?
Where did they?
Yeah, do you know?
I don't.
Kearney and Newberry.
Oh, Garbrandt. Okay, yeah. Cody did go to.
He went to Newberry
for about a week.
Yeah, for about a cup of coffee. But he's a D1 guy, obviously.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he's a world champion, right? And then Usman, right? Usman won the NCAAs for Kearney.
Yep, Nebraska. Yep.
Right? So I mean, you think about come on, man.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, what more do I really need to say there?
Oh, it's not much to say.
The levels obviously there, and I think all three levels in the NCAA are. You got D3 guys who can roll, man.
Oh man, there's that Jordan from Mount Union. That kid's unreal.
Yeah.
That kid's an absolute stud.
Bedford kid.
Yep.
Gerard James' brother, Jordan James.
Oh, Jordan James.
Yeah. Total stud.
Yep.
I'd actually want to see you guys roll because he's a 41, you're a 33.
Yep.
He's a freak. And the older brother's obviously a freak too.
Yep.
Unreal, man. So, okay. I got to take kids to the park. They're going to run in here soon. I can hear them. I can hear the madness in the other room building. Do you got anything else for me?
No, I do. I appreciate you, giving me a call, and I always enjoy talking to you.
Yeah, man, for sure. Hang on the line a little bit here. I'm going to cut this live feed. Talk to you a little bit more. You sure we're all good? We don't have anything else for me?
Nope.
All right, let me cut this live feed, and I'll talk to you a little bit afterwards. All right. Hey, thank you for the time, Tyler.